Hey guys, how's it going? So I thought we'd do something a little bit different today than what we normally do. Normally I do these in the car, but since we had a decent day today, I thought I would do this video out here on the porch while I am enjoying a beer, and if you've never had this before, do try it. So today we're going to talk about, for this radio story, we're going to talk about the time Cleveland had two KISS FM stations for a little while. So let's wind the clock back to 1999, which was 26 years ago. Well, actually, this happened about this time 26 years ago, or a little bit before. So this was the height of the results you started to see of the 1996 telecommunications bill, where in a lot of large markets, stations were being sold off, they were being traded, they were going for a lot of money. So to start the story off, this involves 107.9 FM and 104.9 FM. So I believe it was in late 1996, 107.9 was sold to Clear Channel Communications. And during this time, Clear Channel was completing the buyout of Jacor. If any of you guys remember Jacor, that was one of the companies that was kind of one of the predecessors of Clear Channel. So anyway, Clear Channel was in the process of buying Jacor. And they were also acquiring 104.9, which had the call letters WZLE, I believe. And it was a religious station, which those are kind of different call letters for a religious station. But anyway, but the problem was with Clear Channel acquiring Jacor, they were going to be way over their limits in the Cleveland, Ohio market. So pretty quickly after Clear Channel acquired 107.9, they sold it to Radio 1, which I believe they sold it to Radio 1 around January of 1999, which put in question the future of the alternative rock format at the end. Well, it was pretty clear off the bat that the end wasn't going to be the end anymore, and that the end of the end was coming for the station. And that turned out to be true, because in late May of 1999, alternative rock was dumped for hip-hop and R&B as KISS 107.9, blazing hip-hop and R&B for Cleveland. Well, within a few days, another KISS FM came on the air. The deal closed, Clear Channel closed the deal with 104.9, and they flipped 104.9 away from religious to Pop CHR as 104.9 KISS FM. And instantly this created a bit of a legal problem, and it ended up, well, it didn't go to court or anything like that, but there was, I believe there was a cease and desist and everything with, Clear Channel sent Radio 1 a cease and desist order because they had the KISS trademark name copyrighted in the state of Ohio. But Radio 1 tried to counter that and said, well, wait a minute, we came on the air first, even though it was a few days. We came on the air before you did. Therefore, the name KISS is rightfully ours. And I believe what was going to happen was that there was going to be a big legal ordeal, and they were likely going to take Radio 1 to court to get them to change the name. Well, by the fall of 1999, Radio 1 gave in and changed the name to Z107.9. I believe during this time when they were still calling themselves KISS, I believe they were in the process of trying to acquire new call letters for 107.9. But with the name change, just calling it Z1079. They didn't really need to. So the WENZ call letters stand to this day, which I can't say they're exactly historic, but it is kind of interesting that Z1079 has been on the air over 25 years now, and they're still using the call letters that were originally intended for the end, which the end, I think, ran from 1992 to 1999. So that's kind of an interesting nugget right there. But Clear Channel did change the call letters of 104.9 to WAKS to go with the KISS FM name. But ironically, 2 years later, KISS would move to another signal, and hit Z107.9 is still hip hop and R&B. But what's interesting to note too is that I believe Z1079 was Cleveland's first, and as far as I know, only full-time hip hop and R&B station, but which by 1999 is hard to believe, and that seems kind of unfathomable now, but that's just how it was. So that's the story, brief story of the two KISS FMs in Cleveland. Do any of you guys remember this? Do any of you guys live in Cleveland? Do I have any Clevelandites or Clevelanders on this that watch this channel regularly? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And as always guys, have a great rest of your day.